The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has said it will continue with its efforts to combat desert locust upsurge in East Africa, despite restrictions on the movement of personnel and equipment resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the biggest challenges for the moment is the supply of pesticides because of the global air freight reduction. FAO's resilience team leaders for East Africa said about 20 million people in Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Uganda and Tanzania are already experiencing acute food insecurity, and a further 15 million in Yemen, which is also being affected by the pest. According to the FAO, restrictions on the movement of personnel and equipment imposed by COVID-19 have created challenges, but FAO is continuing to work with government, farmers and agricultural producers to contain the outbreak.
I think, unfortunately, because of other things going on in the world, people are forgetting, the problem with the locusts. But it's a very, very real problem. We've seen it firsthand. We didn't believe it ourselves. We thought, the first time they came, they didn't eat anything, so we thought, it's fine, we're going to be okay. And then we've seen firsthand. So, yeah, the people, our community, the small-scale farmers, it's a very big problem. And for the food security of Kenya, especially after a problem like the coronavirus, how are we going to feed Kenya? All of our produce is for local consumption, and yeah, I think everyone needs to take this seriously and support everywhere you can, because it's a very big problem for Kenya as a whole. Through the FAO, we sprayed today, we sprayed yesterday, we sprayed the locusts, and I think large-scale spraying, controlling of the swarms, and just educating everyone on how big this problem is, and we can get everyone behind. If anyone sees a swarm, it's reported.
So far, more than 240,000 hectares have been treated with chemical pesticides or biopesticides across the region, and 740 people have been trained up to conduct ground locust control operations. But the UN Food Agency said COVID-19 has had an impact on the supply of motorized sprayers and pesticide. FAO says the desert locust upsurge continues to remain alarming, particularly in Kenya, Ethiopia and Somalia, where it possesses an unprecedented threat to food security and livelihoods.
The locust infestation is happening in a very wide area, and you find that every time you are trying to control in one region, there is another swarm that is happening in a different region, and it is not possible to control them simultaneously because most of the time they are at different stages. So it requires a lot of personnel and capacity to be able to undertake all the control operation and also managing the surveillance in terms of the ground team. Currently, there's a number of procurements that have been done, which included the motor vehicle motorized pumps that is used to control the locust. There is also the hiring of the planes that are being used for aerial spraying, as well as the pesticides that are going to be used in controlling the locust.
According to FAO, widespread rainfall in March is expected to produce a dramatic increase in locust numbers in East Africa over the coming months, with new swarms expected to move from Kenya into South Sudan and Uganda.